Yo, what's up gamers? So I only came to the break room because someone spilled hot chocolate on the floor and tried to fix it with paper towels. While mopping that up, I noticed the Prime gaming board just got updated. At first glance, it looks boring. No hype, no countdown, no drop now energy. But then I actually read the dates, and that's when it clicks. This isn't one big free game dump, it's a slow week by week rollout all through February. But before someone realizes they missed half of it while waiting for a headline, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and tell me in the comments down below. Do you claim Prime free games the day they drop? Or do you remember when it's already too late? Alright, grab a mop. February Prime Gaming is sneaking these gems in quietly, week by week. No big flashy drop, just steady freebies while everyone's still wiping up last month's mess. Quick cleanup before we start naming games. First things first, you do need an active Amazon Prime subscription. No Prime equals no freebies. That's the badge to get past the door. Another thing is, these are PC games only, and you're claiming through different storefronts depending on the game. Epic Game Store, GOG, Amazon Games app. Once you claim a game, it's yours permanently. Even if you cancel Prime later, they stay in your library, no takebacks, no late fees. Now that the rules are off the floor, let's start talking about the games. Starting the month loud, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is available now. This is the Borderlands spin-off where everything goes full tabletop fantasy. Dragons, spells, and an unlimited supply of Tiny Tina chaos. You're rolling through a D&D style campaign packed with guns that shoot spells, spells that explode like grenades, and humor that refuses to sit down or behave. Classes, loot builds, co-op mayhem. It's a full-length AAA scale adventure, not a demo. This is the kind of game you expect to pay real money for, and instead it's just sitting here, included, like someone left a legendary drop on the break room table. If you've ever questioned why you still have Prime, yeah, this is the answer. Fantasy nonsense, big explosions, zero chill, February starts strong. Also available now, Dread Templar. This is the polar opposite energy to Tiny Tina. No jokes, no dice rolls, just pure forward momentum. It's a Doom-inspired boomer shooter built around speed, precision, and never stopping. You're dashing through tight arenas, chaining movement abilities, managing cooldowns, and deleting enemies before they get a chance to breathe. Combat is fast, aggressive, and unforgiving. Every mistake hurts, every clean run feels earned. This is the kind of game you fire up for 20 minutes and come back sweaty like you just clocked over time. As a pairing, it's perfect. Tiny Tina gives you chaotic fantasy comedy, Dread Templar gives you focused, non-nonsense violence. Two very different flavors. Same day, same Prime subscription, same "why is this free?" reactions. Rolling out on February 12th, Hexguardian. This is a strategy roguelike that wastes absolutely no time making you think. It blends tower defense with hex grid tactics, forcing you to plan every move while the game steadily turns up the pressure. Runs are short, but they escalate fast. You're placing defenses, managing limited space, reacting to enemy paths, and adapting when the layout refuses to cooperate. One bad placement can haunt the entire run. There's no autopilot here, you're constantly making trade-offs. Offense versus control, greed versus survival, all while the difficulty ramps up without asking permission. It's clean, smart, and deceptively intense. The kind of indie strategy game that looks simple until you realize your brain's been on overtime for 30 straight minutes. If you like strategy games that reward foresight and punish sloppy thinking, Hexguardian earns its spot in the lineup. Also landing February 12th around the world, travel to Brazil. This is your low-stress cooldown game for the month. It's classic point-and-click adventure built around exploration, light puzzles, and soaking in the culture and environments rather than rushing to solve anything. You're clicking through locations, uncovering details, and learning as you go. No timers, no pressure, no fail-state breathing down your neck. The pacing is intentionally relaxed. This is the game you play after something intense, not during it. Think of it as digital tourism with puzzles sprinkled in, calm music, thoughtful design, and a vibe that lets your brain unwind instead of spin. Perfect between bigger games, perfect during a quiet evening, and perfect for reminding yourself that not every mess needs to be cleaned immediately. Arriving on February 19th is Ambition, A Minute in Power. This is strategy without swords. Set in 18th century France, you're navigating high society during a time when a bad conversation can be more dangerous than a duel. There's no combat here. The entire game is built around dialogue, reputation, and influence. You attend saloons, build relationships, choose alliances carefully, and make social moves that ripple outward. Every decision affects how others see you, what doors open, and which ones quietly slam shut. It's all about reading the room, who you speak to, what you say, and when to stay silent. This is a thinking game, deliberate, slow burning, and surprisingly tense. The kind of strategy where the mess isn't on the floor, it's in the politics. You enjoy narrative-driven games where power comes from words instead of weapons. If you enjoy narrative-driven games where power comes from words instead of weapons, Ambition earns its name. Also crashing in on February 19th, Captain Blood. And yeah, this is a hard pivot from Ambition. Captain Blood is loud, flashy, and completely uninterested in subtlety. This is action-first pirate chaos built around hack-and-slash combat, over-the-top combos, and pure spectacle. You're swinging swords, firing cannons, chaining attacks, and clearing enemies with big animation and bigger energy. No politics, no careful conversations, just momentum and mayhem. Everything is designed to feel exaggerated. The hits, the movement, the camera, like the game wants you to lean back and enjoy the noise. As a pairing, it looks perfectly. Ambition makes you think. Captain Blood lets you turn that off and go wild. If you want power energy without the management spreadsheets, this one's here to kick down the door and steal the spotlight. Rounding out February 19th, Meganoid. This one's for the retro paint enthusiasts. Meganoid is an old-school roguelike platformer that leans hard into arcade rules. Tight movement, deadly traps, limited resources, and failure that comes fast and without apology. You're navigating hostile levels, dodging hazards, using gadgets wisely, and trying to stay alive long enough to learn something before the run ends. And it will end. Often. There's no hand-holding here. You're expected to fail, adapt, and try again smarter. It's the kind of game that rewards muscle memory, pattern recognition, and stubborn determination. The arcade mindset where improvement is progression. If you enjoy games that test your patience and make success feel earned, Meganoid is absolutely doing its job. Closing out the month on February 26th, Rebel Galaxy Outlaw. This is your open-ended space sandbox pick. You're piloting a starfighter through a living galaxy where progression is entirely up to you. Fight pirates, run cargo, take bounties, upgrade your ship, or just drift between systems looking for the next opportunity. Space combat is fast and weighty, built around dogfights, positioning, and knowing when to push your luck. Between missions, you're trading goods, customizing your ship, and deciding what kind of space outlaw you actually want to be. There's no single correct path here. You set the pace, you choose to work. This is the long-term value game in the lineup, the kind you can come back to over weeks, not hours. It's like freedom, progression, and space vibes without constant hand-holding. Rebel Galaxy Outlaw earns its place here. Also landing on February 26th, Tavern Talk. This one's the cozy narrative wild card of the month. You're running a fantasy tavern, not swinging swords. Adventurers come in from their quests, sit down at the bar, and unload their problems along with their drink orders. You listen, ask questions, offer advice, and slowly shape their stories just by how you respond. Gameplay is calm and conversational. No timers, no combat, just character-driven storytelling, relationship building, and that gentle one more conversation before closing feeling. It's cozy core in the purest sense. Low stakes, warm vibes, and the satisfaction of being the person everyone talks to at the end of the day. The kind of game you play after a long shift, when the floors are clean, the lights are low, and you just want to listen instead of fix things. Closing out the month on February 26th, Total War Attila. This is the hardcore strategy closer. No comfort, no shortcuts. You're dropped into the chaos of the Dark Ages, managing an entire empire while everything is actively falling apart. Public order, food, climate, diplomacy, migration, it's all on fire at the same time, and Attila himself is basically a walking end-of-the-world event. On the battlefield, you're commanding massive real-time armies, positioning units, flanking enemies, and watching whole fronts collapse if you make one bad call. On the campaign map, you're juggling long-term survival instead of expansion, which makes every decision feel heavy. This is not a play for 20 minutes game. This is a sit down, commit, and clear your schedule game. Big brain, systems heavy finale to February Prime Gaming. The kind of strategy cleanup where you don't mop the mess, you try to stop civilization from collapsing in the first place. So yeah, February Prime Gaming is quietly stacked. 10 PC games rolled out week by week. One massive headliner, a mix of shooters, strategy, pirates, politics, cozy vibes, and full brain meltdown management. And the big thing people miss every single month? Once you claim these, they're yours forever, even if you cancel Prime later. No countdown timers, no rotating library stress, just free games slowly piling up in your account, while everyone else swears nothing good dropped. Well, that's all I have. I gotta bounce. 3 people just asked if these games were still free, and I don't have the emotional strength to explain February all over again. But before I go, do me a favor, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and tell me in the comments, which Prime Gaming freebie are you claiming first? This is Scruffy the Janitor signing off. Peace out.